Hey everyone, how are we all doing? Welcome back. It's been a wee while. Let me just change this to live chat actually. It's been a wee while since I've seen you all, hasn't it? I think since way before Christmas. Or was it maybe Christmas Eve actually? Did I come live and do some free readings on Christmas Eve? But since it's before that, since I've had my usual Thursday night live, so it's great to be back. And it's great to see you all. Let me move this camera a smidge. I think that's a wee bit better. So, how is everybody? How are we all doing? Let me get down the list and say a quick hi to everybody. Just work out what list is better to use. Yeah, I think they're both in line with each other. So we've got Deanne was in first. Hey, Deanne. Deanne says I'll be back in a bit to listen whilst I drive. Welcome back. Thank you very much, by the way. But yeah, Deanne's driving and listening at the same time. And she did tell me that earlier on. So, yeah, hey Deanne, it's lovely to see you. I've got Kristen's here. Hi, Kristen. How are you doing? Says, hey Deanne, and welcome back, Chris. Thank you. Robin from Toadstool Tarot is next in. Robin says, hi, Chris and everybody. So many questions about the wedding, the honeymoon, pictures, preparation anxiety. Yeah, no, that's cool, Robin. I'll probably make this a bit of a questions and answers live, at least for for a good bit of the catch up. So if you've got any questions or anything that you want to ask, then feel free to pop them in the chat. Either capital letters or tag me at Elemental Cartomancy, and that way I'll catch it. But yeah, I'm excited to be back and to be back as a married man, of course. So if anyone wants to ask anything about what I've been up to over the last few weeks, then fire away. Let's see, I've got Debbie from Aquarius Owl. Hey Debbie, it's lovely to see you. I've got V Kestrel. I've got the lovely Justin Michael. Hey Justin. I've got the handsome Joey Luna. Hey Joey, how you doing? And I've got the handsomer Chris, Barely Balanced Tarot. It's amazing to see you here, Chris. I know that you're quite often busy on these Thursday. Well, for me, it's Thursday evening, but for you, it's kind of a Thursday early afternoon, isn't it? Choking a wee bit here. I lit some incense before I started. I don't know if you know, Seema. This is it only takes incense cones, but it's quite a cool wee incense burner. So the smoke just kind of comes out of the cloak. I quite like it. I think it's quite cool. But yeah. So we've got. That's right. We had Chris. Justin says, wow, has it been that long? Yeah, it has. I did do a wee pop-up live on Christmas Eve, I think it was. Just doing some readings. But yeah, other than that, I've not been here for a lot of weeks. So I suppose I should start off by saying I hope that everybody had an amazing Christmas, a fantastic New Year. Christmas or whatever you celebrate around about this time, a great holiday season I should say. So let's see. Robin says, when and where do we get to see the wedding pictures? Well, I mean, if you've got me on Facebook, Robin, I would imagine you've been able to see some already, because I've been tagged in quite a few people's kind of a collection of pictures from the wedding. So have you been able to see any pictures so far just from that? Like if you even just go onto my Facebook profile and scroll down, you'll see that I've been tagged and stuff. But I mean, if I'm trying to think, I don't know. We'll maybe make it a point to share some pictures and stuff, but there should be loads on Facebook. I've got the lovely Jen from Jen's Science to Soul Tarot and Transformation. Hey Jen, how are you? Said, hi, Mr. Married Man. Hi all. Deanne's back. So you're driving, aren't you, Deanne? So you take care driving. Although I'm glad to see you. I feel like I keep missing your lives. That's from Danielle, Tarot Trainee. So oh, my phone is going absolutely bonkers up there. No, I don't think you do, Danielle. I've just not been live for a wee while. I was just saying this. I've not been live for a good few weeks because Christmas, New Year, and then last week I got married. So it's been a bit hectic. So yeah, I've not been live for a while. Justin says 4 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, that's right. But Really Balanced Chris is in Pacific time, is he not? Am I picking you up and putting you at the other end of the country, Chris? So it'll be 1 p.m. there. Let's see. I'm sure I'm not missing anyone. V Kestrel, did I say hi to you? I think I did because you were one of the first in, weren't you? Yeah, you were. Although I don't remember saying your name. So, V, if I already said hi, then you get 2 hellos. And if I didn't, then my apologies. It is lovely to see you. And thank you for all of the congratulations. I really appreciate it, guys. Let's see. So Chris says, congrats, Mr. Kelly McFadden. You finally have a Scottish name. Yeah, that's true. Kelly's more Irish, isn't it? But my grandparents are from Donegal in Ireland, so that's why I've got an Irish name. Let's see. Joey saying hi to everyone. Justin says, congrats to Chris and Sandy. It's about friggin' time. Yeah, tell me about it. Here's Diane from Woodthrush Cottage. Hi, Diane. Says, hello, Chris. Congratulations again about your marriage. Happy for you. Thank you so much. And no, Chris is in Florida. Oh. Well, I'm just being a silly Billy then because I thought that Chris was in Pacific time, which means I thought that Chris was over in the west of the US, which he's not. Central, so 3 p.m. Okay, silly me. So Kristen says, does he have to wear your tartan or do you have to wear his? So we don't really wear tartan, to be honest with you. We both wore kilts to our wedding, but we didn't wear our clan tartans or anything. I think mine's isn't very nice, to be honest with you. If you look up Kelly tartan, it's not the nicest. It's like green and yellow, and I just wasn't a fan. And I don't know if Sandy's family have got a tartan. But yeah, other than kind of our weddings and stuff like that, there wouldn't be any reason to wear tartan. And that's what I'm saying, we never even wore our own tartan to our wedding. So Robin says, I only see one picture of guests on your Facebook page. I want to see the groom and the groom. Right, okay. I can maybe try and get some pictures then. Bear with me just a wee second. I'll see if I can find one of the two of us. Someone's taken. Memories. Let's see. I've got my profile. And I think when I share screen, is it this one? Yes, it is. Right. Hang on, let me find some pictures and I'll share. I see what you mean. So maybe Sandy's been tagged in most. Let's see if I can find them in his. Right, I tell you what, that's my mission for next week is to find some good wedding photos, and I can share them. Okay. So apologies. I know that wasn't very good, but yeah. Let's see. Justin says Chris is a southern bitch. Quite right. I wish I was on the west coast, says Chris. Washington or Oregon would be nice. British Columbia would be even better. I loved driving through there on my way to Alaska one time. Oh wow. Kirsten says McFadden is blue and green. Wow, nice. Chris, yeah, you sit on your porch and can yourself with a straw hat and say things like, I do declare and I've got the vapors. I'm not even going to try and do the accent. Fan yourself, not can yourself. Right. So Diane was saying, I was watching The Amazing Race and they were in Glasgow. What a lovely city. Yeah, apparently New York is based on Glasgow, see the architecture and stuff. And you know how the way that New York is like the streets are like a grid or like a kind of a up and down square grid. Glasgow's like that, very much like that. And there's not a lot of cities that are like that apparently, as it turns out. Robin's asking, was there much discussion over extending or hyphenating your names? You now have more than twice the length to sign things. There what I think we both kind of knew from quite early on that that's how we would want our names to be. I think we were both kind of knew right away we wanted to double barrel them. So it was a question of was it Kelly McFadden or McFadden Kelly? And I think because Kelly ends in like a vowel sound with a Y, Kelly McFadden just I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me, sorry. I think Kelly McFadden just flows a lot better. So there wasn't that much discussion. And as for the length of it, I think my signature is essentially going to be my initials now, because before my signature was just C Kelly, whereas now I think I'll just do my initials, and it won't be too long. How do you decide what's your name? I have just answered that. So New York was built by the Irish, says Justin, although early on New York was actually Dutch. Jen says, bless you. Thank you very much. Chris Yao says, my tartan is the Stuart/Stuart. Has anyone heard of a comedian called Michael? Oh my God, what's his name? Michael McIntyre. He's English, but he does this brilliant bit about names that are spelled differently. And he's talking about I don't know. You would need to watch him. There's no way I could like do it justice and make it funny. But he's like, hello, I am Stuart. Hello, I am Stuart, and he's doing this with basically all sorts of different names that are spelled differently. Yeah, watch it. Look up Michael McIntyre names, and you'll probably find it on YouTube or something. Really, really funny. So yeah, sorry, Chris was saying his tartan is the Stuart tartan, the ubiquitous red and black that everyone knows. Everyone else gets cool colours, but I have royal ancestors, so I'll take it. Always wanted a kilt. That would be pretty cool. Have you ever worn a kilt, Chris? New York used to be New Amsterdam. Ah. Did you have a honeymoon yet, or do you plan one? Where did you, or where will you go? So we're planning on a big honeymoon maybe next year at some point. I'd quite like to go a cruise, maybe like spending some time in Japan. Sandy's a big gamer, an avid gamer, as you probably told you before. So he wants to he wants to spend some time there because it's really well known for its gaming. Um, Among other things as well, like he loves kind of a Japanese culture and history and all that kind of stuff. And um, yeah, it's just somewhere that he really wants to go. Um, but what was I saying? Yeah, so that's what we plan on doing in like a year's time or something. This week we did a mini moon, a very mini moon. We went over and stayed in Edinburgh for the night on Tuesday into Wednesday, and we went for dinner to a lovely Chinese restaurant called Tattoo. Um, it was beautiful. It does the most amazing like cocktails um, and food. Like the food is really really nice. In fact, I wonder if I can. Let me see if I can show you some stuff this way. Actually, this might be a better way to show you. Um, so so V knows the comedian. He's very funny. He is really good. Robin, will you let the guy ask the question? That's all right. Describe your wedding cake and the number of guests. The wedding cake was four tiers, and it was basically there was like a curtained effect down like two of the sides. So one half of this cake was basically split into two halves, and my halves were like Harry Potter, and Sandy's were Star Wars. I can probably try and show you some pictures of it to be honest. But let me see. And there was about I think there ended up being about between 70 and 80 guests there. Um, right now, who did I share these pictures with? Right, here we go. So this was my cocktail that I got. Screen. Let me play that again. So this was my cocktail that I got. So you can see the cocktail's in like a kind of a crystal skull thing, and you pour it into the glass. Um, Let me see. So that was it after I poured it into the glass. And there's pictures of I can probably get you some pictures of the wedding this way though, so give me 2 seconds. Let me see. Are you even able to see this stuff? Was your niece a flower girl? She was, Robin, yeah. Um, Sorry, guys. Right, you can actually. There's us cutting the cake. There you go. That's quite a good picture, actually. So that's me and Sandy cutting our cake, and you can see Sandy's half of the cake there. So you got R2D2 on the top. Darth Maul's kind of a skin is the second tier down. Then you've got Obi-Wan Kenobi's robes and Darth Vader's chest plate at the bottom. And if going from the bottom and up, the flavors were lemon, and then Victoria Sponge. The Darth Maul was toffee, and then the very top one is another lemon. We basically weren't going to go for the fourth tier, but then we thought it would be a good idea to have a tier that's just for us, so we can say to the venue, like, don't cut that for people, just leave that for us. So we would basically have a bit to take away. But as it turned out, we basically came away with about 3 tiers of that 4 tier cake, and we've been steadily eating it all week. Um, So let me see. Back to me. Let's see. So Chris is saying I've never worn a kilt. I want a full kilt and a modern one. Maybe I'll wear it with my harness or on leather night at the bar. That would be pretty cool, quite cool. I've seen some sexy dudes with kilts and leather. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Chris, you said the Stuarts come from Brittany. They were the oh gosh, Senescals of Doll, which means protector. I I know that word. How do I know that word? It's in context of tarot, actually, I'm sure. I can't remember quite right now. Um, Changed it to Stuart from a steward protector when they came to Scotland. All right, okay, that's pretty cool. Um, Kristen says I could go for some wedding cake. I was so busy at my wedding I barely got any. Ours was a cupcake tower. Oh, that's pretty cool, Kristen. Joey says, Chris, loving Darth Vader saying hi in the background. The Force is definitely among us. Yeah. So yeah, this is just a kind of a statue thing that I've got at Christmas time. I don't know if you noticed it at Christmas, but I've got this like kind of a. It's basically meant to be like a big oversized Christmas bauble, but it's got Santa's head. So we hang that from Darth Vader's hand, and it looks like he's holding a decapitated Santa's head, which is quite dark, I know, but it's also quite cool, in my humble opinion. Let me see, is there any other photos that you want to see? Not really wanting to put any of the kids on Facebook. If there's any more of me and Sandy. Again, sorry guys, I know this isn't the best preparation from me. Sorry, not Facebook. I said Facebook. YouTube. I'm not really wanting to put any of the kids on, public domain. Um, in fact, there's the other side of the cake. If you want to see it, screen. Um, so yeah, you can actually kind of see people in the background there. But so top of mine was the Golden Snitch, and then we have the books as the next one. The Marauder's Map is the third one, and then the Always is the bottom. So yeah, the cake was massive. It was pretty good. Um, but yeah, oops. Um, that those are some wedding pictures for you. So let me see. I'm not catching any comments here because it's not scrolling. Let's see. I could go for some wedding cake. Got that. Robin's like, hey, tell me no one else is interested in wedding details. It was a long time coming. You're right, it was, wasn't it? Deanne's interested. Um, I think you need the black leather kilt to go with your harness. You can actually get black leather kilts. Not put this to my face. You can get leather kilts, so you can. Robin says, thank you for at least one picture. You're welcome. Chris is asking whether we got a quake. Yeah, we did. So we did. We tied the knot. So tying the knot is it's like an old hand fasting kind of a ritual that they did during weddings, and that's where the phrase "tie the knot" comes from. So we did it with a bit of the tartan that I was wearing and a bit of the tartan that Sandy was wearing. And then you kind of move your arms apart and it ties a knot. It's actually really nice, and we've still got the kind of a knot tied. We're going to get it framed along with our quaich. And another thing we did was we got a record that's actually got our first dance song on it, but we got a silver sharpie and got everyone to sign the record. So we've basically got this record with all of the signatures of our guests that were at our wedding on it. So we're going to get that framed along with the tied knot and the quaich and probably other bits and bobs as well. So yeah, we drank whiskey from the quaich, and I kind of regretted how much whiskey I put in because I didn't realise that it's bad luck not to finish what's in it, which apparently it is. So Sandy was like, "I'm not drinking any more of that," so I had to basically down all of the whiskey in this thing. So yeah, that wasn't too great. Um, Kristen says the cake looks amazing. Thanks. Let's see. Yes, underwear under the kilt, Chris asked Justin. How do you know that? How do you know if I was wearing underwear? Did that accidentally expose myself? I suppose there could have been worse pictures to accidentally put on the screen, couldn't there? Robin, that sounds like a great combo, says Chris to Robin. Oh yeah, with the black leather kilt and the harness. The wee Bonnie Prince Charlie, says Justin. Real Scotsmen don't wear underwear under their kilt, Justin, Michael, says Chris. Well, let me tell you that I did. I was wearing underwear because um, each wedding I've been to, like where someone else was getting married and I wasn't wearing a kilt, but each wedding I've been to, um, there's been something that's happened where I've thought, well, if I ever get married and wear a kilt, I am wearing underwear. So I've had weddings where the groom has been hoisted up onto like the best man's shoulders for like the one of the dances. I was in fact at my brother's wedding where I was wearing a kilt and we were getting photos taken. They made the guys lift their kilt to the girls. Um, so it was it was a Catholic wedding and there was like five bridesmaids and five groomsmen. And they basically had everybody as part of the photographs. They had everyone facing each other, and they made the five guys lift their kilts and flash slash pretend to flash the ladies. And I was like, thank goodness I was wearing boxers that day because I don't want to flash my sister-in-law. Like that's weird. Um, so yeah, anytime you see me wearing a kilt, you can be rest assured that I'll be wearing underwear. Um, and now you know why. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Deanne, I need to show you pictures of wine glasses that I got. In fact, let me see if I can find them. I'm sure I sent somebody a picture. Who did I send? I'm sure I sent. These wine glasses, by the way, are amazing. They're like Harry Potter themed. That's it. So can you? I don't know. You can kind of see it there. Screen. So see, it says after all this wine, rather than after all this time, and then underneath it says always. And it's got like a sparkly thingy. But how cool is that? I was well impressed with that. Um, but yeah, let's see. Justin says, I think I may make my own kilt. Um, Debbie's asking what song. What was our first dance song? It's a song by a band called Ed Guy, um, which has the same lead singer as Tobias Sammet, I think he's called, from Avantasia. I know there's somebody that either watches or used to watch my lives that knows who Avantasia are because I remember mentioning them and someone was like, "Yeah, I love that band." I don't know if it was maybe Sarah from SL Wyman's Rock and Writing, but yeah, Ed Guy. It's called Superheroes Epic Version. Really, really lovely song. The epic version that they do, there's two versions of it. One of them's more rocky, and the other one's more kind of a slow dance song. And the epic version is the slow dance song. So yeah, that was our first dance song. When they so generally, I don't know if you guys do the same, but generally when we do the first dance, they maybe do a verse, and then the band will say, the couple would like to now invite all of their guests onto the dance floor. So I spoke to the band before and I says, look, we cannot dance to save ourselves. We want to get everyone on as soon as possible. So they they like after one verse and one chorus, they said, right, everybody on. And everybody just looked as if I'm not going on to that song. Um, like everybody just looked at each other, nobody came on. And we were like, oh no, we could have been dancing along to all of this. But then there was like a general chuckle because nobody moved, and then some people came on. It was actually really nice. So it was. Um, what was the song for the first dance? Yeah. So, but it was Debbie I was answering. That was their what song? Justin saying they were married in secret because Chris would not share Sandy with an English lord. Braveheart fans will know. First dance song, we've answered that. Love it, Chris. I'll need to see a pic of them when you get them framed. Yeah, yeah, I will. I'll send you a picture, Chris. Um, Robin told me, says Justin. I can't remember what you're answering there. Chris says, I'll need to start crashing Scottish weddings so she can get flashed. Justin says, me too, Chris. Any Scottish fireman getting married? um, I'm guessing you didn't do the hokey pokey. No, we didn't actually. We did do. We requested the time warp from Rocky Horror Show. So we did that and we loved it. And there was the usual like Tina Turner, Proud Mary, and there was a lot of the band were absolutely fantastic. So they were like really really good. I've like one of my guests is in a wedding band. Like my piano teacher. You probably heard me talking about him. But yeah, he's in a wedding band, and even he said they're really, really brilliant, like really smooth. The way like they go from one song straight into the next, like they just keep the beat going and stuff. And loads of people said like they were the best band that they'd heard, even counting their own wedding band and stuff. So we were really pleased with the band. They were brilliant. Um, you look so happy when you talk about your wedding. I love it, says Danielle. Oh, yeah. I think because it just happened on Saturday there, and I don't know. Um, it was just a really, really good day from start to finish. Like there was nothing that went completely tits up or anything. Everything was really nice and really smooth. And we it was a humanist service, so we got to like write our own story, and we each wrote 5 things that we love about each other and sent it to the humanist in secret. So Sandy first heard my 5 things that I loved about him during it, and same for me. That was when I first heard uh, his 5 things. Um, it was just really funny, and the kids were running about as well. Like during the ceremony, my nephew kept making dinosaur noises, and Sandy nearly buckled laughing. So that was quite funny. Um, so yeah, look at you glow, newlywed, says Ange. Hey Ange, how you doing? Chris, you expressed being so stressed out over wedding planning. Did that pass? Yeah, Robin, it did. I think, see, once, um, I think it was just, it wasn't so much the planning of it, the actual planning. I think we were quite easy also with the planning, and we did everything in good time, more or less. It was more the added stress of not knowing whether it's actually going to go ahead, if you know what I mean, because of the COVID situation with the Omicron variant. I think that was the only thing that upset us and stressed us out and stuff like that. But as for the actual planning of it itself, it wasn't too bad. So I think, see, once we knew, it had been given the proverbial thumbs up, we were fine. Like we were okay. Um, so yeah, it definitely did pass. And thank you, Ange. How were the parents at the wedding? Yeah, they all had a great time. They all really enjoyed it. My speech went well as well, so I was worried about my speech, as Justin knows actually. Justin very kindly came onto a Zoom with me and let me practice my speech. Um, so Justin's heard it, and I pretty much I think I tweaked it another couple of times just, but it was pretty much as more or less as I said it to you, and it went down really well. It didn't feel as though it had gone on for too long, or like people seemed to enjoy it. I think so. I was pleased about that as well. Uh, yeah, I suppose the only things, one of my brothers and one of my sisters were both waiting on PCR tests and couldn't come. And my brother that couldn't come was my, so I was supposed to have a best man and a best woman, and my brother was my best man and he couldn't come. So it was a bit of a hit not having them there. Um, because like I had to cut a bit of my speech out because I was talking about him being there and being my best man, and obviously he couldn't be there. Um, so that was a bit shit, but it's just one of these things. So yeah, that's I think that's all the wedding chat, guys. Um, but yeah, yeah, it's great to hear Justin gave you a hand. It is, and he was a brilliant help, so he was very very encouraging, and gave me a confidence boost because I think he knew I was worrying about it. You'll have to let us know if you get the golden snitch on your honeymoon, although I'm guessing that snitch was snatched long ago now. Um, what time are we on here? 20 to 10. Um, right, what was I going to say to you? I wanted to shout out a channel. Let me just see, because I didn't quite get round to being organised with it. So let me see if I can find it. There he's there. So this channel is Herc213. It's a chap called Jay, and it's not just like a tarot channel or anything like that. He does a bit of everything. He does a bit of gaming, a bit of mindfulness, and he does do some kind of a card readings. But he's got a great wee channel going, so he has. I've joined in. And he's done quite a few lives over the past few weeks, and I've kind of watched them and enjoyed them. So his name's Jay, but his YouTube name is Herc213, and I've put a link to it in the chat. So pop over and give him a wee subscribe. Um, he's yeah, he's a good guy. He's really good. Um, was there anything else I wanted to share with you? So um, I am conscious that I did a giveaway during one of my other lives, a previous live. In fact, it might have been the last time I went live on the Thursday. Um, I did, I did, and I announced a giveaway, and that's still going, by the way. So if you go back and comment on that live, um, it's the Christmassy one. It's the one that's Christmassy themed. Um, so if you comment on that video on that live, then I'll enter you into the giveaway. So if you haven't, if you're here and you haven't yet entered it, then please pop on and leave me a wee comment, and I'll put your name in the hat, as it were. And I'll probably announce that next Thursday. I'll probably do the giveaway announcement, the kind of a pick the winner next Thursday. And as for the prize, I think we said it would just be there wasn't a particular thing that I had that I was going to, send. I think we'll, with the winner, I'll have a discussion and we'll decide, what they want to be sent. It just means if you're in like Australia or the US or something like that, then I can just order something to get sent to you online and you get it quicker. Um, so yeah, there's that. I'll do that next Thursday. All things going well. And there's also the Marielle study group, which is, it's at the end of the month. So we're coming up to that. So that I believe it won't be next weekend, like not this weekend coming. but it will be the next weekend on the Sunday. It will be the Zoom meetup, and we'll be chatting about the twos. So the 4 twos. So we've finished the majors now, and we're on to the minors. We did the aces last time, and now we'll be on to the twos. So on the Sunday will be the Zoom, and then on the Thursday after that, so I believe that'll be 2 weeks today, we will do the YouTube live. I should probably check that actually, and just make sure that I've got that right. Let me check my calendar. Roman. Yeah, I think that's right. So yeah, so it's the last Thursday and the Sunday before it. So Sunday the 23rd and Thursday 27th, which is a week on Sunday and 2 weeks today. So that is the Marielle study group. Now, other than that, guys, I didn't have any other announcements or anything like that, anything I wanted to particularly tell you. So, yeah, what I'll do, were there bagpipes at the wedding? There were, Robin, yeah. So our wedding venue has their own piper, and we got piped. So as all of the guests were arriving, they got piped, and it's called being piped in. Like the bagpipes are playing as you kind of enter, and the photographer took the photograph as they were going in. And the same happened for us. And then when the wedding party were going into the ceremony room, we got piped in. So we didn't have like a song, as it were, for walking down the aisle. We were piped down the aisle. So that was really nice. And then you get piped back out. So after the ceremony, the bagpipes were playing as we exited. And then during the kind of a reception, the evening bit, when we went, no, not the reception, sorry, for the meal, we got piped to the top table when we went to sit down and have our meal. So yeah, the bagpipes were really good. I really like the bagpipes. It's certainly not everyone's cup of tea, but I do really like them. I don't know if this incense is still going or oh no, it's finished. Well, that was quick. Right, that's what I was going to say. So I'm going to put this on here just now. So going to do some readings. I've not actually decided what deck I'm going to use yet. There's a point. What deck will I use? Oh dear, decisions here. Why don't we go for... You know what? I'm just going to use the Light Seers. It's the first readings live of the year. I'm going to use my soul deck. So I've actually got it in this wee box, which I got from the lovely Jenna as part of my winnings for the Christmas giveaway on Simon's channel, the Christmas quiz. So yeah, I'm keeping these in here now, which is really nice. So yeah, if anyone's got any questions for me, then pop them in capital letters. Let's see. Whose picture is that on your mug? That's Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory. And it says Bazinga. Oh, 444. Um, did you get a lot of tarot decks and games for wedding presents? Do you know? No, we didn't. We got a lot of money for wedding presents, and we got some vouchers and stuff. Um, the glasses that I showed you. Yeah, no, I didn't get any tarot decks. Not as wedding presents. I got some tarot decks as like Christmas presents, and I'm going to do a video. Depending on what time I get finished up here, I might actually film it tonight. But I'm going to do a festive haul video where I'll basically show you all of the decks and maybe some other bits and bobs that I got. I don't want to say Christmas because on Christmas Day, like I got money and stuff, and I bought myself some stuff, some decks and that with that, and so I've just over the last few weeks I've accumulated quite a few, actually quite a lot of decks. So I was just going to do a wee reveal video and let everybody see them. These have gone very quiet. Chris, we've missed you being away so long. Oh, that's sweet, Robin. Thank you. Yeah, you have gone awful quiet now that it's time for readings. Are we not really in a tarot reading type mood? Cause if we're not, that's absolutely fine. We don't need to do readings. I don't want people feeling forced to ask questions just for my sake. Um, Robin thinks he scared everyone away. No, well, according to this, there's still about 16 people here. I don't know how accurate that number is, mind you, but yeah. Ange says you can read for me, friend. Have you got a question, Ange? Or are you just wanting a general? I've just remembered actually, I need to sort out a time, a date with Marvin from Mystic Marvin. I'm supposed to be doing a roundtable reading with him, and I've just realised that the next 2 Thursdays I've just talked about. So we were supposed to do that in January, so I might send him a message after this. If you're about, Marvin, then send me a wee message. Let's see. Right. So Anne says, Kristen says, yeah, Robin is scary. V says, sorry, I'm doing a bit of housework. No, listen, please don't apologise. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. It's just I just don't want people to feel like they have to get a reading if they maybe don't feel like it. Because I know, like, I don't very often ask for readings when I'm watching live, so I know that you just don't feel like it sometimes. Right, let's see how we're. Nope, that's not what we want. That's not what we want at all. Facing cards is what we want. Right. So hopefully I'll be able to get 3 cards on there. So a general. Whoops. General would be good. Hopefully I've not dropped any more cards there. Can you all hear me okay, by the way? Because I noticed even before I came into the studio, I noticed that the test on my volume wasn't going very high. So yeah. Why is my phone buzzing? Who's trying to get in touch with me? Nobody knows. Robin says can hear you fine, right? And I am as well, right? Okay, thank you very much. So Ange, a general would be good. And we love Marvin. We do love Marvin. Marvin's awesome. So we want a wee general reading for Ange. So let's see, we're going to do a 4-card reading for you, Ange. We're going to have a look at actually really zoomed in. Let me see if. So you're going to see a bit of the screen there, which is a bit annoying, but it's the best happy medium I can get. I've now got 3 screens in front of me, by the way. So yeah, I've had to do a bit of jiggery pokery with my setup. Okay, strengths, weaknesses. Oh, got a couple of pages coming out. Look at that. So I mean, new beginnings is certainly something. You know, you're getting into something new. I would definitely say that. Um, an asset, finance doesn't seem to be an issue. So you do have some, you know, you've got the resources. You know, that could be money, it could be time. You've got the resources that you need in order to go into this new endeavor. And an opportunity is maybe just to kind of a look past what's going on and see the magic that's all around about you. So when we say there's a new opportunity, it's perhaps more accurate to say that there's a new opportunity to see what's kind of already going on around about you. Now, you know, a strength that you've got is you're kind of a very well grounded and very kind of a eye on the prize, you know, very goal oriented. And you know, once you set yourself something, you kind of throw yourself into it, and you get really kind of a deep and involved, and you know the kind of a you know the work that's involved. You don't mind getting your hands dirty, I think is what I'm trying to say. Weakness though, your emotions can sometimes betray you a wee bit. Sometimes you find it quite hard not to react emotionally to a situation. And once you feel yourself having that emotional reaction, it can be quite difficult to then turn that, you know, to not turn that off. I don't want to use that phrase, but just to kind of harness that in a way that's productive. Okay. So your practicality and, you know, by extension, I'm going to say, you know, the situation that you find yourself in, you know, your material, you know, your living situation right now is definitely an asset and a strength for you. But where there's maybe room for you to grow is on an emotional level. Okay. I see the page of cups. I identify with the page of cups, by the way. Um, and I think that they're really kind of in touch with their feminine side, and that what am I trying to say? Just open to the kind of a more the magical side of life, I guess. Um, but on the flip side, when things aren't going their way, they can be a wee bit emotionally immature. Um, you know, got their heads in the clouds a wee bit. And when they're upset, they kind of find it hard to harness that emotion and drive themselves forward in a productive way. And yeah, the opportunity. I mean, there's an opportunity. I mean, Four of Cups is emotional stability. Yeah. So there's an opportunity to grow from that place of perhaps weakness and achieve a more kind of a stabilized emotional state. We just want to make sure that we're not going from, you know, one extreme to the other. Don't go from, you know, being completely airy fairy, head in the clouds, you know, skipping about and not really seeing life as it is, to like not appreciating any of the magic in life. Okay. So it's about trying to kind of keep yourself grounded and find a happy medium there. So whatever this kind of a new opportunity is that's coming up, that's what we want you to be thinking about. And we want you to be thinking about the kind of the being able to see the magic that's around about you, but not being consumed by it. Let's see. So you can let me know how that was. And you said thank you. I resonate and appreciate the reads. Well, you're very welcome. I hope that that was helpful for you. Um, okay. So I think next in line, I've got Danielle, isn't it? I would love a reading. Tell me something. Sorry, tell me what you see for my upcoming weekend. Okay, what do we see for the weekend? I'm going to do something a wee bit different here, actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the first card, which is going to tell us about a situation. It's something upcoming that the cards want you to, that they're something for the weekend, right? It's the situation card. Depending on what we see, I might pull an advice card, or I might pull a don't do this and I do this. So the situation don't do this is the Zoe spread. It was made by Zoe Matoff, who's Rachel Pollock's good friend and colleague. Um, and it's a great wee spread, so it is, to get you thinking. And the situation advice and outcome spread is one that I use all the time. Okay, let's see. So Danielle's upcoming weekend. Okay, so Five of Swords is what we see as the situation. Now, the Five of Swords, it's kind of like the defeat card, isn't it? And sometimes it can be really difficult to then tear yourself away and try and get any contact. Sometimes it just kind of puts you in a, oh, well, what's the point? Kind of like how he's probably feeling right now. When that card comes up, it can be quite hard to kind of tear yourself away from the connotations of the card. Quite often, what I've found though is it can be talking about a particular. I often see it as not just defeat; it's like intellectual defeat. It's a kind of a cutting off your nose despite your face. It's that kind of a defeat that this card often talks about. When I see it come up, when it comes up for me, that's quite often what it's meaning. Um, so there's some kind of situation, probably quite a tumultuous, quite a difficult situation to deal with. And there's a good chance that no one's going to come out being the clear winner. It's going to be one of those ones where it's like, you know, you've either kind of a lost something, or you're your ego tells you that you've won. Maybe you've won an argument, but in actual fact, what have you had to do to get to that position? Do you know what I mean? Kind of like a lose-lose situation. I know that I'm not making it any better. You're probably saying, "Do you know what, Chris? I was quite happy with it just being a defeat card. Thanks very much." Um, but what I'm saying is that we have sway over how we act in this situation. You know, one of my favourite representations of the Five of Swords is actually the Five of Blades in the Everyday Enchantment Tarot. And what we see is it's like chefs in a kitchen, and you can see that one chef has clearly won an argument with the other chefs, and the other chefs are in the background, kind of just like they've clearly lost, so they're not doing anything, they're just in the background doing nothing. But then see the guy who's won, he's in the foreground, and he's now got three people's worth of vegetables to chop because he's won the argument. So he's like, no, my way is better, and that's that. So them two are away. They're like, right, okay, well you do it then. So he feels as he's won the argument, but overall he's now got three times the amount of work to do. So it's kind of like a battle of the egos. And I think when we're in that situation, sometimes we have a choice about how we, how we react, just to kind of apply some intellect and maybe not react so emotionally. Um, don't do this. We've got the Queen of Cups. Um, So the Queen of Cups is what we don't want to do. We don't want to withdraw completely into that elemental, that water element. Don't withdraw completely into your emotions. We don't want to be acting purely from a place of emotion. Okay. Quite often when we're talking about tarot and we're looking at tarot, cups, water is a great element. We're trying to encourage people to be more in touch with their emotions and more spiritual. But to be honest, see, when we're looking at everyday situations, in actual fact, quite often as well, what we need to do is come away from that emotional place and actually think about the problem from a place of intellect. Think about it from a down to earth point of view. And I think that's what the Queen of Cups is telling you not to do. You know, don't just react emotionally. That's maybe not going to help you. In actual fact, sometimes what we want to do is look past how it makes us feel and look at the actual, the intellect of the situation. It might put you in a position to better react to it. I hope that makes sense and that's helpful. What to do is the Four of Wands. So, I mean, on one kind of a side, describing the situation, we see some sort of argument or some sort of, win-lose situation. In this card, we see everyone celebrating. Okay. So I think this is a card about being either a good winner or a good loser. And basically just not letting the emotional impact completely take you away from the situation. Be the bigger person, and if you are on the losing side, give that person their due credit. If you are on the winning side, then don't be a bad winner. Don't rub it in the person's face. We need to get to a point where we can move past that, and everyone can still work together, play together, whatever the hell it is that you do in this situation. Um, that's what I see there. Um, I want to see if you've gave me any more comments. So smiley face and thumbs up. Okay. I hope that was helpful, Danielle. I know that it's not one of those ones where it's going to resonate right now. I can't imagine because it's probably as the weekend comes up, you'll either come up against the situation, you'll think, well, that was what those cards were talking about, or you won't, and you'll think that Chris was talking rubbish, which is fine. But I hope that it helps you if you do find yourself coming up to this situation. So you're planning on celebrating your mother's birthday. Well, I hope you have a nice time. Right, who have I got next? So Kristen says my friend's brother has died, and I'm going to the viewing on Sunday. Really nervous about it. What advice do the cards have? Oh, condolences to you and to your friend Kristen. That's really horrible news. I'm sorry to hear it. And I'll be thinking about you on Sunday. I hope that it goes as well as it can go. You know what I mean? But let's see what advice the cards have for you. Okay. So we're looking. So the Emperor is what's coming out as the situation. Now, for me, the Emperor makes us think about control. It's about exercising control over our lives and the situations that we find ourselves in. That's going to be a key point for you when, you know, during this difficult time. It's how much is out with your control. You're putting yourself probably into a situation that you're really not used to outside your comfort zone. Um, and when you do that, you always feel as though you're surrendering a certain amount of your power and your control to it, to the situation that is. I know that I certainly felt like that around about the time when my gran passed away. It's just that there was a whole bunch of stuff that I had to kind of expose myself to that I just wasn't used to. And the reason why it was so difficult for me is because it's not something that I'm familiar with. It's not something that I'm used to, and that made it quite difficult. Um, so this kind of an emperor, think, is just speaking to the theme of how you're going to be feeling on Sunday. Um, that kind of aspect of your, being in your comfort zone and stepping outside it, and that losing that a certain amount of that element of control. Um, the Queen of Pentacles is what's coming up as the advice card, and then the Ten of Cups is coming out as the outcome. considering the situation that we're reading for, these are quite nice cards to come up. This is a really nice reading, so it is. Um, I think of the Queen of Pentacles as the mama bear, the protective mama bear that looks after everyone. That she actually, so see how we're talking about stepping outside your comfort zone and outside your safe space. The Queen of Pentacles is who creates that safe space. She's the one that kind of looks after everyone, makes sure that everyone's needs are met, and makes sure that everyone is taken care of. Okay, so the advice for you is, although you might find yourself having to kind of go beyond what you're used to, I don't think you maybe don't quite appreciate how comforting it will be for your friend and for others to have you there. You know, um, you're. It seems to me from this reading that you're a source of strength for others around about you, and through that role, that will give you strength as well. Okay, the outcome, the Ten of Cups. Okay, so we're looking at this kind of a emotional fulfillment and the outcome of it all. So I think that this is going to be. Don't get me wrong. I thought the Emperor's coming up to say like, you're going to have to surrender a certain amount of control. That's in the very nature of it. I don't know why I feel as though the picture isn't very good. But anyway, um, but I think just that Queen of Pentacles energy that you seem to radiate, Kristen, that's going to be key in how you deal with the situation. And just think about the comfort that you're giving to your friend and to other people by being there, and just by being a shoulder to cry on, an ear to listen to, that kind of a thing. Just a hand to hold, or whatever it is that however you create that safe space for the people around about you. But the Ten of Cups, I suppose, is just we kind of see the Queen creates that loving and safe space for people, and then we see that that space being used, being enjoyed by the people around about. So I think it is important that you do this, both for you and for the people that you perhaps do or don't appreciate that need you, and that you'll be helping when you do. Um, so I hope that's helpful for you, Kristen. Um, you can let me know. Kristen says it's been a hard journey for the family. It was pancreatic cancer, right? Okay, okay. I'm really sorry to hear that. That's horrible. Right, okay. So Regina says, hi everyone listening and working here. Regina, how are you doing? It's lovely to see you, as always. We're all saying sorry to Kristen. He says, I enjoy listening to readings. I learn a lot about the cards and so interesting to hear the different approaches. I'm grateful to everyone for letting me listen in. Of course, yeah, I'm the same. I love it. I really enjoy it. And I get a lot out of listening to other people read the cards. So absolutely, I'm glad to provide that space. Oh, I think I saw another question somewhere. Yeah, Chris. So advice for me regarding loneliness. What can I do about it, if anything? Online friends are treasures, but I'm aching for local friends, especially close male or gay friendships. Okay. Oh, let's have a wee look for you, Chris. I think you're such a warm, loving person, Chris. And I say that not because, you know, I mean, I say that to give you confidence and because you're hearing, because it's the right thing to say. But I think that it's true. It's absolutely 100% true. I use those words carefully, warm and loving. They describe you really, really well. Um, I think it would be quite hard to be in your circle of friends and to not experience that from being around about you. Um, so I think just letting people in, letting people experience that, is definitely something that I would just say to you as a friend rather than as somebody who's reading some cards. But with that said, let's have a look at these and um, see what we see. Okay, right, okay, right, right. I mean, look, the world is telling us as regarding the situation, you're right where you need to be. Now, when I was shuffling, Chris, I had the Ace of Swords pop out the deck. So, what these cards are saying to me, where am I putting this? What am I doing? I'll just stick it there. There we go. What these cards are saying to me is situationally, you're right where you need to be. You're doing all the right things. You're an absolutely fantastic person. I was saying that to you before before the cards even came up. But I mean, the world just kind of reaffirms that you really are. Um, the Ace of Swords. There's the. I feel as though there's maybe a change of mindset needed, a change, not a change in the situation, but just a change in the way that you're looking at the situation and the way that you're understanding and maybe trying to analyze the situation. Um, because see, let's get rid of you. Um, because yeah, when you look at these cards, like everything seems on track, everything seems to be going in the right direction. All that seems to be, that this popped out. So to me, this is like a new idea or a new mindset or a new kind of a approach to some intellectual situation or a new understanding of the world around about you. So it's not that the situation needs to change, it's just how you're looking at it that needs to change. There needs to be that light bulb moment, there needs to be that aha moment where you're like, right, now I understand, now I get it. That is going to come. But there's nothing wrong with the approach that you're taking. Okay, maybe just maybe just how you're seeing it. Now, the advice that you've got is the King of Wands. Okay, the King of Wands, full of charisma, full of sexual energy, and full of passion. All right, and that is a perfect card to describe, the way that I think a lot of us experience you, Chris. You are full of passion, and whenever you talk about something, you talk about it in depth, and you speak about it with a lot of love in your heart. So you do, and I think the King of Wands is just kind of again reaffirming that. It's just, use that passion, let other people see that passion. Don't kind of be timid and hide yourself away. Don't feel ashamed or like you need to tone yourself down. You know, let that inner lion out, as it were. The great thing about the king is the King of Wands spends a lot of his time shining his light and getting his hands dirty and taking action, but he also appreciates that he has an important role, and that's to oversee the kingdom. So sometimes his role involves taking a step back, and that can just represent, like, if you're looking for new connections, sometimes it can be you forget that we all need to spend. We're all on some degree a hermit, especially in this community. We're all a mix of introvert and extrovert. It's just where we are on the spectrum, I think. So just remember that you will always need that me time, that alone time, and don't ever kind of deny yourself that. It's not one or the other. It's like kind of it's just finding the right balance. That's what you need to think about. But the outcome card there is the lovers, and that speaks of a close connection, yeah, but it also speaks about putting yourself first. Um, I see the lovers as to do with choice, but it's to do with a specific choice. It's making the choice to put your own needs first. You're not you've so if we think about the fool's journey, he's learned, what's expected of him from his mother and his father and the empress and emperor and his community and his teachers and all that, tradition and rules and stuff from the hierophant. He knows what's expected of him, what his responsibilities are. But the lovers is where the fool actually branches out and says, "Do you know what? I acknowledge and appreciate all of this, and I'm capable of keeping that going. I'm capable of doing more than one thing at once. But it's time for me to actually, this is how I feel in my heart, and this is what I want to do, and this is what I desire. So it's time for me to actually make that choice to go off and care about myself." There was a fantastic quote that I saw last night on Queer Eye, and it's Nelson Mandela. No, no, am I thinking wrong? I wrote it in my phone, but my phone's up there, being the table camera. Um, it's gone. If I remember it, I'll tell you what it was. But um, it's basically telling you like self care is. No, do you know what? The quote was actually nothing to do with that, so ignore me. Sorry, but self care is important. Okay, doing what you desire and looking after yourself isn't selfishness. It's self preservation. And I think it's important to realise that. And like I said when I was talking about the king, it's not an all or nothing. It's not me or the rest of the world and responsibilities. It's not like you need to choose between two. We can we're multifaceted, complex human beings. We can keep lots of kind of things juggling at the one time. Um, and I think it's just about finding that balance and realizing that. But sorry, anyway, like I say, in the future, in the outcome, we have the lover's card, which speaks to a close connection with someone, potentially, if that's what you're looking for. But it also speaks to something that you desire and putting yourself first. And that's what I'm going to say about that. So, Chris, I hope that that was helpful. Um, I know there's not been any comments in a while since I deleted that person's message, that spammer. Um, but yeah, so Ange says we have to be gentle with ourselves and know that we're simply doing the best we can to Kristen. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of us could hear that. Um, and those are quite nice words from Ange there for a lot of us to kind of take on board. Um, so you said, I've always been comfortable with alone time. I crave it. But this has been painful and heavy for months now, and I can't get over it. Right, okay, okay. Thank you, Ange. Well, at some point in the future, I'll be doing a charity readings for motor neurons disease, which is what my grand died of. So anyone who's ever wanted to give donations, you can come back then and donate to that. I would really appreciate that. Um, yeah, that was for Danielle's reading, wasn't it? Um, let's see. Chris says, thank you so much. A very heartfelt reading. I'm doing all I know to do, including self care, maybe patience, and being a bit more bold and wait for that light bulb moment. Thank you so much. No, you're so welcome, Chris. Yeah, I don't see there being a whole. It's not like you need to go off in a whole new direction and anything like that. I mean, the king, if anything, says that you're already very much the king of your castle. I think it's just about looking at it in that way, maybe getting your confidence back a wee bit. Um, but yeah, just that amazing, you know, light that you are in the world, you just let other people see that and let them be drawn into your warmth. And I'm sure that you'll make connections before long. Okay, meaningful connections. Okay. Chris, thanks very much for asking a question, by the way, because I know you can't very often make it here, and I always do really enjoy it when you and when everyone else comes to my lives. But yeah, so I think that's us come to the last. I don't have any more questions here at the moment, unless anyone who hasn't been read for yet wants to ask one. But yeah, I wonder why that's not so clear. I wonder if it's to do with the light. Let me turn on the ring light and see if that makes a difference. You can get to the ring light. A wee bit washes me out a bit, but it makes the cards a wee bit clearer, doesn't it? I'll need to sort that before I do any filming. I think it's probably just because all of this is this screen's here. Yeah, Kristen, just being there will be a huge comfort. Yeah, that's right. Right, where are we for time? We're only at 10:20, but if there's no further questions, and if we're done there, then I'll finish up and I'll leave it for the evening. So next week I'll be announcing the giveaway winner. So if you haven't yet, in fact, what I'll do, I'll put a wee link to it here. Let me see, to the live that where I announced it. Let's see. So you can just make sure you're subscribed. Leave me a comment on this video. Not this one that we're in just now, but on the one I'm going to link. Then I shall enter you. Was this it? Hopefully this is muted. Yeah, it is. Let's see. Comments. I'll be able to tell by the comments. Yeah. So it's this one here. If you want to be entered in, then leave me a wee comment on that video and I shall enter your name into the hat. Back here. Yeah, and I'll announce it next week and I'll catch up with Marvin and see when he wants to do the roundtable reading. It may well be next week or it may well be into February before I'm doing it with him, but we'll get something sorted out. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for being here. It's been lovely to spend the time with you. It's been great to see you all after a wee while of being away. So have an amazing rest of your Thursday. Have a great weekend. I'm trying to take this away. Yeah, have a great weekend. And yeah, I'll chat to you all soon. Bye, everyone.